Hey everyone, Andy Raffel from eTeknix.com and welcome to another episode of What's in the Box. Now, we've actually had some internal discussions at eTeknix and we decided that before we were tending to sort of bring out a What's in the Box kind of every week, and I guess the benefit of that was we were allowing you guys as our kind of, viewers, consumers, watchers, whatever you want to call yourselves, to sort of see what we had coming up. The problem is some weeks we get more stuff than others. So we'd end up with maybe, one or two boxes. And to be honest, it didn't seem that great. So that's why last week, if you saw the last episode of What's in the Box, you would have seen that we had a lot more stuff. And this week is no different. I've actually split this up into different areas, purely because all of this stuff go together. So what we're actually doing at the moment is we are working with our friends over at ASUS and the ROG department, who, if you've actually sort of been paying attention to any of the news recently, you would have seen that they are very much kind of involved with Red Bull. So Red Bull are actually opening up, or already have opened up at the time of kind of recording and when this gets published, their gaming sphere, which is a bit like kind of Fnatic have their Fnatic bunker, and trying to bring sort of esports and gaming into kind of the consumer realm. So what they've actually done is sent us a system, which, as you can see, there's quite a few components here. I will show you the rest of them in a minute. And they want us to build a system for them that they are going to be using in the gaming sphere. So that's quite an accomplishment for eTeknix in its own right. The fact that we're going to have a system that we've built for them being used every day. So yeah, hopefully I get it right. So what I actually wanted to show you is kind of the main part of the system. I'm not going to unbox sort of, I guess two of the components that I've got here, just purely because they are so big and we need them for another video that we're going to be recording straight after this one. But what I wanted to show you is all of the components that are here, which I will be unboxing, what they're actually going to go inside. So what we have is the stupidly heavy, stupidly large Thermaltake Core P3. If you know anything about Thermaltake, you'll know exactly what their core range is like. And this is going to be a really, really nice chassis to work with. We have all the components that are going inside. The only other thing I wanted to show you is the monitors that they're going to be using. So in the gaming sphere, it's all going to be, branded in the same kind of light. So they've sent over the ROG Strix XG258 gaming monitor. This has got, of course, RGB, because I can actually show you on the back. What is a product these days without RGB? So this has got ASUS Aura RGB. As you can see on the back, it has got the RGB on there. 240 Hertz rapid refresh rate, 1 millisecond, extreme low motion blur. It's basically the best of the best when it comes to gaming. So really excited to sort of see, even myself actually, how that looks, how it performs and everything. But other than that, I guess we should get straight into it. So on the subject of sort of talking about that system, I guess we should actually start with the ASUS products that they've sent over. So let's see exactly what we have. So this is a kind of joint venture between ASUS and Thermaltake. That's why they're using some of their components. So you'll probably see where that kind of, fits in. So we have two lots of ADATA XPG Spectrix D40. So this is obviously RGB memory, so it kind of fits in with the whole theme, as you saw on the monitor being RGB as well. These are 8 gig memory modules, DDR4 3000, so they've got two of them. I'm guessing they didn't have a 16 gig kit available, so 2 times 8. You do the maths, works out exactly. This is what the ADATA XPG memory actually looks like, and as you can see at the top, this is where all the RGB lighting effects will come into play. So, moving on to the next thing. Now, what they've actually got here is they're really not messing about. What we've got is the Samsung 500 gig 960 EVO M.2 drive. So anyone who knows anything about SSDs and storage will know that Samsung make probably the best, unless you want to go sort of down the real kind of prosumer route of Intel with some of their really high-end stuff. But on a consumer level, Samsung are actually making probably the best M.2 SSDs. Or just SSDs in general, really, especially when it comes to the NVMe interface. So this is going to be lightning fast, which is exactly what you want when you're doing sort of gaming or even other things. We use NVMe drives not just for gaming here, but for editing and stuff like that as well. It really kind of opens up a whole plethora of what you can do with your system. At the heart of it, we have the Core i7-8700K, so latest and greatest processor from Intel. Not really too much to say about this that hasn't already been said in our own reviews. Operates at 3.7 gigahertz, obviously does have a turbo boost clock as well. Coffee Lake. Absolutely fantastic processor. Really good value for money in the grand scheme of things from Intel. Obviously AMD have their own kind of thing as well, but on an Intel standpoint, that is going to be more than enough for even the most aggressive system and the most aggressive task that you can physically throw at it. Going back to Thermaltake, obviously we have got a few more bits and bobs from them. So we have To start with, one of their RGB fans. I think this is the same ones I've actually got over there, which are the Ring Plus 12. I'll be able to find out a little bit later though. Screws for that as well. And then we have the TT Sync controller as well, which will basically control all of our RGB. So I'm guessing there's maybe going to be a little bit more here involving Thermaltake. Obviously the chassis itself, fan and so forth. So moving on, we also have the TT Gaming riser cable. So this is a PCI Express 3.0 X16 reinforced cable. I've actually got one of these myself that I used in a build for the Thermaltake View 71 tempered glass. So really, really nice quality cable. These are a little bit more expensive than other ones on the market, but they are really, really good quality. And then the only other thing, we've got one more box in here, and inside here is what looks like and what feels like the weight of a hard drive. So we actually have, get my trusty knife. So this is a Seagate Fire CUDA 1 terabyte. So really nice drive, to be honest. We use Seagate drives quite a lot. We've actually got some of the Iron Wolf drives in our NAS devices. Not really had much of a chance to use them on a hard drive level, sort of consumer kind of base. Generally, we have got some sort of older Seagate drives up here, and we do use a lot of Western Digital. But yeah, Seagate drives are absolutely fantastic as well. So if I can move all this to one side, we can get on with the next bit. Right, moving on to the next box, which is ASUS branding. I'm guessing, based on the shape and size of this, that it might be a graphics card. And I actually went through the spec with ASUS as to kind of what they were sending. There goes my knife. So for this one, we have the ASUS Strix GTX 1080. So again, it's got full RGB support on the actual front of the card. So this is going to be a really nice addition to the rest of the system. So obviously with this graphics card, in conjunction with the PCI Express riser cable, it's going to look really nice because of the Core P3 chassis and the way that it's kind of orientated when you're looking at having a GPU vertical instead of horizontal. Just kind of adds that little bit extra kind of nicer feel, in my honest opinion. So moving that to one side, we can move on to the next bit, which I have no idea what that is. And I really hate this type of packaging. Because look, can you see this? Dirt, literally everywhere. Now this is going to cause some problems. So let's get this unboxed. So after getting this horrible packaging material off, I don't know why they actually use this. It's probably one of the worst out there. I'd rather just have boxes. So we have, again from Thermaltake, you can see the whole kind of trend going on here. Thermaltake Tough Power Grand Series. This is the RGB 750 watt. So again, this is actually one of the only power supplies on the market. I think GameMax are the other brand, and then Thermaltake. I think they're the only ones who have kind of full RGB power supplies. So again, this is going to look really, really nice. And then to go in conjunction with the power supply, we need some more RGB. And I've used this before, the Thermaltake Flowring 360. So this is full RGB as well on the fans as well as on the block itself. So really, really nice cooler. That's going to look great inside the system. The power supply is going to look great. They've really sort of thought about what components to use here and kind of, you know, what kind of angle they want to go down with it. So we have another box as well, again from ASUS in this horrible packaging material. I really shouldn't have a go at them too much, you know. They might not have had other packaging materials available, but still, it's just one of them things. It gets really dirty, mainly from couriers and things like that, where it sits in warehouses. So what we've got here is the Strix Flare, which is one of their sort of latest and greatest keyboards. Mechanical gaming keyboard, reasonably priced in the grand scheme of things. This particular one has Cherry MX red switches, which are one of my favourites. I really like blues, but they're just too goddamn noisy. So red is kind of that nice middle ground. Browns are good as well. Not a fan of really any of the other colours. But generally speaking, this is going to look amazing as well. Full RGB support, even on the back of the keyboard, as well as all the keys individually lit as well. So yeah, thank you very much to ASUS for sending that over. And then this one, again, from ASUS. So this one, we have the ROG Strix Z370F Gaming. I generally have one there. I'm actually using it for a build. Actually, that's the E-Gaming. So there is a very, very slight difference between the E-Gaming and the F-Gaming. I think the main difference is one has Wi-Fi and one doesn't. But either way, I have used this board before and it is absolutely fantastic. Again, it's going to look amazing because of the RGB effects and the fact that it has addressable headers on it. It's just going to tie in really, really nicely with everything. So that seems like, I guess, the bulk of it when it comes to ASUS. I am, by the looks of it, missing a mouse, maybe a headset, but I will have to speak to ASUS and see if they meant to send that or whether they want me to use something else. But that, for kind of the main bulk of the system, is everything that you see there. So I guess now we can just move on to this other stuff, which kind of mixes it up a little bit. Isn't ASUS, isn't Thermaltake, isn't AData, but let's see what else we got. So now that we've got all that stuff moved out of the way, we can kind of carry on with where the rest of the stuff is. So this first one, as you can see from the label, is from Aqua Tuning. So I'm expecting some nice custom loop stuff. If you haven't already seen it, we have done a video on the Tech Payin, which features some custom loops, so go check that out over on our YouTube channel if you're watching this somewhere else, or just go to videos if you are watching this actually on YouTube. So inside here we have Alphacool Ice Block XPX CPU, which I believe I've actually got one there and there, but this is for a completely different thing, purely because, and you'll see why. And thank you very much, Alphacool. You always know how to treat us, you know. So I've got some gummy bears here as well. I think it's like a German thing, because I know the guys over at Case King and Overclockers do exactly the same. Now that Overclockers, the retailer in the UK, are owned by Case King, they do the same sort of thing. Then the other thing that we have, I'm guessing a reservoir of some kind. So yeah, we basically have quite a small reservoir with a built-in pump by the looks of it. So this is going to look really, really nice in, I'm doing a build with Win actually, the 101C, which is quite a small chassis, but I wanted to do custom loop in it. So this is going to look really, really nice in there. So thank you very much to Alphacool for sending that over. Moving on to the next box, this one is from Overclockers. Now, after seeing obviously what Alphacool are giving me, there better be some gummy bears in here. See, they know how to treat us, they really do. So inside here, this is actually for another build that I'm doing in conjunction with Lian Li. So Overclockers actually support Lian Li in terms of distribution in the UK, so hence why these products came from them. But what we have are probably some of the most amazing RGB fans I've ever seen in my life. So these are the Bora 120. They're amazing because they have an aluminium shroud on it and the colours are just absolutely perfect. So yeah, it'd be really nice to see these. These are both the silver ones. They're going to be going into the Lian Li Alpha 550 build that I'm doing. Again, custom loop, and I'm actually in conjunction having talks with Mayhems at the moment to try and do something a little bit different involving glass tubing. So watch this space. That should be coming very, very soon. Next box. Next box. Sounds like Xbox. PC Master Race. Okay, so this is for our videos that we do. So what they've actually sent me is some Lifex strips. So these are, you've probably seen it in some of our videos when kind of the back of the desk glows a little bit. It's actually these. But inside, basically you have an LED strip that you can put on the back of your desk. You can then control it from your phone, your iPad, computer, anywhere. So yeah, thanks to Lifex for sorting that one out. And moving on to this one. Okay, so I believe this is for the Win build that I was just talking to you guys about. Yes, it is. So Win, again, they have very, very nice fans, just like Lian Li do. So these ones are the Polaris. So they've actually sent me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's got to be more than one in there. But yeah, all of these boxes of fans. Now, I've actually asked them for kind of both sets of models. So you have the premium and then the non-premium. So hopefully you can see a little bit of a difference there. But yeah, so you have premium, non-premium, again, premium, 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 and then the ones with the plastic shrouds on there as well. So yeah, loads of stuff going on. One more box to get over with, and then we are basically done. And then I can spend the next hour tidying this whole mess up and getting ready to build the system that I have to build over here. So this next one is from ASRock that I can see on the label, and I really dislike these UPS boxes. You guys are probably noticing a bit of a trend. I don't like packaging in general. I complain about bags, I complain about boxes. Okay, so what we have here is the ASRock AB350M Pro 4 motherboard. So essentially this is going to be used for a build that we're doing in conjunction with AMD and ASRock and Cooler Master, where we are building a affordable gaming system, essentially so you can game at 1080p for under or around £500. Obviously, the problem is when we do kind of these affordable gaming builds is the fact that you get to a certain price point and then the next day the memory price jumps by 20 quid. It's just impossible to price a system at the moment, but we're trying to do our very, very best with it. That is going to be at the heart of it, the AB350M Pro 4 from ASRock. That is pretty much it. I feel like this video has gone on way too long. Let me know if you actually prefer this longer sort of type or longer style of video compared to the short what's in the box where we, you know, only do kind of half this amount of stuff. Again, this, and I'm going to say it time and time again, because last time was probably the longest what's in the box we've ever done. I'm guessing this time we've probably even trumped that. So there you go. If you did enjoy this video, you know what to do, guys. I will see you in the next one. Until then, See you later.